All right, let's get into a crime story that is very, very 21st century. The weapon? It's not a gun or a knife, it's an algorithm. We're going to unravel the bizarre case of the review bomb barista and what it shows us about a new kind of digital hit job, murder by median ratings.
Think about it. We all lean on online reviews, right? That little star rating feels like this objective truth we can trust. But what if I told you that exact system could be flipped on its head and turned into a silent, devastatingly effective weapon?
So, to understand what happened, we need to meet our protagonist. Her name is Maria Santos, and her dream was a little coffee shop called The Daily Grind. And for her neighborhood, this place was so much more than just a business. It was like the heart of the community.
Maria built The Daily Grind from the ground up. Its success was the real deal, you know? It was driven by actual, happy customers who loved the place so much they left glowing 5-star reviews. That high rating wasn't just some vanity metric. It was a digital reflection of the genuine love people had for her shop.
But then, that dream came under fire. And the attack? Well, it wasn't loud or explosive. It was quiet. It was sneaky. And it was perfectly designed to exploit the digital world we all live in.
It literally happened overnight. The shop's page was just flooded with hundreds of brand new reviews. But here's the weird part. They weren't one-star, hate-filled rants. They were aggressively average. Coffee was fine. It's an okay spot. Just a tidal wave of manufactured mediocrity.
And this is what made the attack so clever and so damaging. A 1-star review, full of rage? Most platforms, and even us, we kind of dismiss that as an outlier, right? Someone just having a bad day. But a 3-star review, it doesn't scream. It just whispers, this place is forgettable. It flies completely under the radar, but it drags down that average rating with deadly efficiency. It's basically algorithmic assassination.
The impact was instantaneous. That sea of 3-star apathy sank the shop's beautiful 4.8-star rating all the way down to a 3.7. Now, in the world of search algorithms, that's a death sentence. It meant the Daily Grind vanished from the first page of map results. It became invisible to new customers. Its digital lifeblood was just cut off.
So what do? Maria couldn't call the police. Technically, no law had been broken. So she did the only thing she could think of. She hired a digital forensics consultant to figure out who was behind this bizarre, silent attack on her livelihood.
And this was the huge challenge for the investigator. The attacker was smart, using a whole network of proxy accounts. There was no single smoking gun. The job was to find a pattern in all that digital noise, to somehow find the ghost in the machine.
So how did they crack it? Well, it came down to a few digital breadcrumbs. First, the timing was just too perfect. The attack started exactly 1 week after a non-compete clause for a former partner had expired. Second, what they called a linguistic fingerprint. All these bland reviews kept using the same weirdly specific phrases, like perfectly acceptable, phrases that were all over the ex-partner's old business emails. And finally, the digital trail. They traced the IP addresses back to a co-working space he was known to use. Suddenly, the ghost was starting to look very real.
All the evidence pointed to just one person, Caleb Finch, Maria's old business partner. And the motive? It wasn't just about money. It was cold, calculated, professional jealousy. He felt he'd been cheated out of the shop's success, and he wanted to prove he could tear it all down using nothing but data. Now, once they had their guy, this didn't end with a dramatic arrest. This was about a new kind of justice, one that's fought not in criminal court, but in the world of civil law and, you guessed it, a platform's terms of service. The entire legal strategy was built on this fascinating idea called tortious interference. To put it simply, it means you can sue someone for deliberately and wrongfully messing with your business relationships. Caleb wasn't just leaving a bad review, he was systematically trying to interfere with Maria's ability to do business.
So once he was faced with all this digital evidence, Caleb had absolutely nowhere to run. The leverage against him was massive. A very expensive civil lawsuit, a clear violation of the review platform's rules, which would get him banned for life, a demand to pay for all the lost revenue, and, to top it all off, a legally binding public apology.
And in this beautiful, ironic twist, the very digital weapon he tried to use against Maria was turned right back on him. The settlement forced him to post a public apology across all his social media, admitting to the whole scheme. His own reputation was dismantled by the very tool he wielded.
Now, this whole story is about more than just one coffee shop. It's a cautionary tale that shines a light on a huge vulnerability in the way our world works now. So, why does this really matter to all of us?
Because it pulls the curtain back and shows just how fragile our reputations are in a system run by algorithms. For so many small businesses, their entire survival literally hangs on a star rating. This story proves that the battlefield for success isn't just in the real world anymore, it's online. And the weapons are getting a whole lot quieter and a whole lot smarter.
You know, we spend so much time worrying about fake one-star rants, but maybe the real danger, the one we're not seeing, is manufactured mediocrity. In a world where an algorithm decides what you even get to see, maybe the most destructive phrase isn't "I hate it," but just, "it was forgettable." Definitely something to think about the next time you go to leave a review.